happy lifestyle listeners. I am Coach Aiet, and welcome to today's episode. Today, I will be talking to somebody. She's close to my heart because during our coaching sessions, ang dami niyang learnings na binibigay, and she's very generous. Without further ado, I would like to bring you Miss Sheila Ong.
Hello, Coach
Hi,
Aiet. Good
Sheila.
morning.
Yes, good morning. Di ba sabi nila nga sa sales or for any industry for that matter, we always start with a greeting of good morning, regardless kung what time. Tama, di ba, Sheila?
Yes, kahit sa gabi or midnight, pero we will always be hopeful.
Yes, correct. And ang maganda dito, hindi natin kailangan ma-feel na parang nagda-drag yung day natin because um, hindi natin nagagawa yung mga dapat nating gawin. And ang maganda dyan, because we are in the same industry, somehow our wavelengths connect. And that's what we are going to talk about. Now, Sheila, I am very curious, and I'm sure our listeners also and the viewers in YouTube are very curious how you started your journey as a person who achieved so much. Can you walk us through that journey? You nagsa-start ka pa lang when you were in college.
Okay, so during college, and so I took up financial management, financial institutions. Siyempre, as a fresh grad, medyo you want to pursue yung course na tinake mo. Yun yung parang ambition ko. No?
Tama.
So as I was searching for work or career, I encountered this orientation. No? There's, di ba, usually we have different career orientations from different companies in school.
Right.
It is about, so I received that. It is about financial planning. So sobrang relate to my course.
I see.
So medyo, nung narinig ko yun, naging interested na ako agad. And I seek out to that person. No? And it happened to be our branch head.
Okay. Tama. That's so nice. So parang
Okay.
talagang fate siya. Nag-connect.
Yeah.
Kasi
nag-connect.
from what you are learning in college and that's financial management also or financial institutions?
Bali, siya, management of financial institutions.
Okay. So medyo connect naman din. And then what
Yes.
happened after that is history na. Nagtuloy-tuloy na ba yun?
Yes. Actually,
okay.
our branch head is also family, siya, kababata ng mami ko.
Okay.
Yung mga uncles ko. So parang mas connect pa rin. Kasi since medyo kilala, I was comfortable to join them.
Right. Tsaka di ba usually kapag sa Chinese community, it's a close-knit family ties, di ba? So,
Correct.
and I think it's a good value also, guys, because na-imbibe na rin naman natin as Filipinos, ayan, kahit yung mga friends natin na Chinoys, maganda yun may support system, ika nga, di ba? And it's actually something that, yung for example, you're starting, it will help jumpstart you into something that is good. Sige, continue natin yung journey ni Sheila.
Yes. At first, ang focus ko talaga is to work in Makati, sa offices na medyo social, corporate talaga. So I just joined the group just to learn. Kasi free training tayo.
Yes.
Yeah. So, di ba, as a fresh grad, more on we seek new learnings. As a learner, talagang nagustuhan ko yung sistema nun. Nag-join ako.
Nice.
Doon nag-start. Okay, so, but even though nandyan na ako, I was still searching for a corporate work.
Oo, kasi parang ganun yung yung environment. Even if in the family, for sure, some of our listeners, and ako, medyo totoo to sa akin, parang it's an expected, unspoken expectation that after graduation, you should be
in the corporate
employed,
world.
Yes, in the corporate world, di ba?
Right.
Buti na lang naging brave ka. To actually break that notion, di ba? Kasi some are not courageous enough to break that because of yung mga hindi ako confident and because probably there's no support system. Like how you found your support system, di ba?
Actually, at first, struggle ako.
Okay.
Oo. Tama yung sinabi mo na may notion na yung family natin, mga friends, na you need to be in the corporate world.
Right.
So, pero ako rin mismo, no? So I seek job hunting talaga, nag door to door ako sa Ayala Avenue. And nagkaroon din ako ng bank, work in the bank.
Mm-mm.
Yun. So yung parang yung joining the insurance industry, medyo on the side lang talaga siya at first. Okay.
Okay. Pero wala namang parang notions na, um, Sheila, why are you joining that? Parang, di ba, you're a graduate of this and stuff like that. May mga ganun din ba? May mga ganong notions.
Yes, oo. Bali nung una, I don't see myself talaga na mag-reach out to people about
Mm.
offering
O kasi
financial
sabi mo nga,
plans.
introvert ka eh, di ba?
Oo,
Sabi mo, ang
yes.
hirap na na.
Correct.
Oo.
Ayan.
Oo.
And then, nung nakita ko lang na magaganda yung plans and I can see that people can benefit through it, I
Yeah.
started sharing it to my friends and mga uncles and aunts. And I was surprised na
Dun pa
kumukuha
din, sa
sila.
family. Sa family pa rin,
Doon pa
internal.
rin. Oo,
Okay.
yes. Doon
So,
nag-start. Mm-mm.
correct. So, when you started doing what you were doing, I think it ran for a long time until now you're still in the industry, no? I'm just curious, at the time that you started, were you already accumulating wealth?
Okay,
Like,
yes.
kasi you are already knowledgeable, college, pinag-aralan natin, and then practice also. So, how early did you start saving for your future?
Okay. Actually, nung time na nag-start ako mag-work,
Mm-hmm.
since I see plans na magaganda, kumuha na ako agad ng plan.
Okay. As a
It's a
student or as a professional na?
professional na.
A professional
Nag-work
na.
na ako.
Okay.
This is my first ever self-paid premium plan, no? It's
Wow.
around 10,000 per year for 5 years.
Wow! So,
I think less
tapos
than
na
pa.
yan.
Tapos na.
Fully paid! O, di ba, parang inire-reap mo na lang yung, yung rewards niya, kumbaga. Kasi
Correct.
ang start mo early, how early did you start?
22 years old.
22, guys! Oh my gosh! Ano ginagawa ko na 22 ako? Ayan, di ba? Okay, tapos, I'm sure nadagdagan siya. You
Oo.
accumulated a lot. Oo.
Okay. So actually, after getting that policy,
Oo.
we had an experience, no, bankruptcy in my
Oh,
father's business.
okay. So what's the
Okay.
business pala, if you don't mind?
Ano siya, mga wholesaler ng mga chichirya, mga biscuit. Oo.
Okay.
Yung mga Humpty Dumpty,
Oh,
Rebisco,
nice. Favorite yan
mga
all-time
candies,
favorite.
mga
Oo.
local products.
Oh, that's good.
Yun.
Oo.
So, at first, no, parang medyo, kami, parang, tawag doon, parang devastated, di ba?
Oo.
Pero kung
Kasi
titingnan
livelihood
natin,
yan eh. Oo.
oo. Pero titingnan natin on the bright side, blessing siya na tapos na kami mag-college. Yung younger brother ko,
Timing. Perfect
timing,
timing.
younger
Oo.
brother ko on the 4th year na yata. Basta last year na
Patapos
lang
na.
niya, patapos na.
That's good. Oh.
Oo. Yun, so ako as a daughter, parang I really want to help. Sabi ko, paano ba ako maka-help sa
You the
family?
eldest, Sheila?
I'm the second.
Okay.
Oo.
Most creative, ah. Anyway, sabi nga ni Teacher Leia, most creative ang middle child.
Talaga? Oh, that's
Oo.
nice.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened nung time na na-bankrupt kami? Ano talaga kami, teamwork as yung
As a
kuya ko,
family.
ako as a family.
That's
Ako yung taga-compute ng daily needs, budgeting.
kasi gano'n daw yung course mo eh. O dapat nga, importante yun. You compute your expenses para hindi ka mag-shoot.
Oo, so every
Beyond your
month,
means.
I need to monitor kung nag-exceed ba kami or not. Tapos
Tama.
ako na yung taga-sabi na, wala munang malls, wala munang
ikaw na
ganyan.
yun.
Oo.
Ikaw yung auditor.
Parang ganyan.
That's good.
Yun. Tapos whenever we have excess money,
Mm-mm.
pay off. Ganyan.
Okay. So, basically, you were the one looking at the finances of the family, regardless kung may business or wala. But then, you keep it really nice because, as you mentioned, na-overcome ninyo, no? Yung ganung challenge.
Yes,
It's
oo.
not easy, but you are able to overcome because of teamwork in the family. That's good. That's nice.
Ano rin, maraming factors kasi through prayers din. Meron naman din mga suppliers na nag-let go na. So mix siya, so merong mga na-pay off, merong mga nag-let go. Yun. So hanggang na-overcome namin yan.
That's good. Pero how long was that challenge that you have to maintain that certain? Kasi di ba usually sa business parang mag-give up ka na lang kasi ang tagal, yung mga accrual, receivables mo, hindi mo alam mo yun, hindi na nababayaran.
Yun nga, actually that's the
supplier.
reason. Oo. Actually, that's the reason na bankrupt because marami kaming clients na hindi na nagbayad.
Receivables.
Oo,
Okay.
ang laki ng receivables na nawala na. As
Ako
in
baka
talagang,
nakikinig sila today. But that's okay. Hi, guys. Ayan, okay naman, di ba?
oo, parang
Alright.
naglaho na lang ganun. Hindi mo na makontak,
Baka
ganyan.
may challenge din.
Challenge,
Challenge din
oo.
siguro. Oo.
Tapos since yung business na sa Divisoria, medyo mataas yung rental,
Lease.
yeah.
Oo.
So talagang pinaano namin yung father namin na i-close na lang. Kasi if you
Oo.
will continue it, ang laki ng operational expense.
Mitigate the risk na early on.
Oo,
Oh, that's
ganyan.
good. Buti na forecast yun. Ang maganda dyan, like yung pinag-usapan with Teacher Leia before na, you know, kasi nakakausap yung mga anak. There are
Mm.
table discussions, sabi nga ni Nikki, over dinner, na catch up on what's going on with what's on what you do, stuff that you like. Yung open communications, it's really important. And as a
Mm.
family, you can help resolve the challenges together because you have a good support system.
Correct,
That's
correct.
good. So you started accumulating wealth after those obstacles, tama ba?
Correct, correct. Siguro
Mm-mm.
mga 2 years, mga ganyan.
Okay. Pero yung sa mga folios, kasi I'm sure the listeners are curious, what is the first investment? So for you personally, you have the personal insurance for yourself, but for the family, how did you overcome? Paano nyo ginawa ng paraan? Or if there are any creative techniques that you can share, maybe that will be value adding to our listeners also.
Okay. So, basically talaga, ang priority is to pay off debts. So, wala kaming
Okay.
masyadong investments din. So,
Mm-mm.
basta yun nga.
Obligations muna.
Oo, oo.
Okay,
And
okay.
then, after we pay off all the debts, parang kanya-kanya na kami nag-manage ng kanya-kanyang funds.
Okay. So parang
Ganon.
it's not anymore a challenge to convince. Kasi
Hmm.
napagdaanan na eh, di ba? So parang basta clear out muna yung mga obligations, short-term,
Mm-mm.
long-term obligations, and then you now can start saving. Kasi hindi pwedeng nagsisave ka or nag invest ka with debt, di ba?
Correct, correct.
Parang, di ba, medyo mahirap yan. Ayan.
Tsaka
So,
parang if you invest your money,
mm-mm.
tapos may debts ka, tapos nag-accumulate din ng interest,
Oo.
lugi ka eh. Mas malulugi ka pa. Kasi yung
Oo.
interest ng debts mas mataas.
Kakainin lang.
Oo.
Tama. Okay. Naku ha, start pa lang tayo pero ang dami na nating natututunan dito kay Sheila. Thank you so much. Ayan. So
Yeah.
as a single woman, how
Mm-mm.
did you do it? Were you a working student or full-time student pero right after college, you started working na, hindi ka na nag-intay, hindi ka na namili ng work. So ganun ba yung nangyari?
Okay. So, full-time student ako. So, after college, right away naghanap ng work. So, mga
Mm-mm.
in 3 months time, nagkaroon na ako ng
Meron na.
employment.
So you
Pero,
started with employment. How
yes. Pero
long?
yun
How
nga,
long?
pero nauna na
Oo.
yung financial
Oo,
brokerage
yung
na na-join
parang,
ko.
right, right.
Mm-mm.
So parang ano na siya, dual income ka agad after college, tama ba? Parang ganun.
Yes, yes.
O
Parang
parang
ganun.
ganun, di
Yes.
ba?
Oo.
Okay din na strategy yun ah. Kasi, di ba, parang others, pahinga muna kasi, di ba? Graduation, nahirapan ako. And ang maganda doon, as a single person, bago ka matay the knot, di ba? You
Mm-mm.
already have something na you can say that it's your own, di ba?
Yeah, yes.
So
That's true.
how long after you graduated, how long naman after you become a family woman? So after 5 years ba?
5 years, oo. Mga
So
ganun.
tapos na talaga yung timing nakaplan. Yun ang maganda. So as a family woman, how are you doing the finances naman?
Okay. So, first of all, syempre sa household mga utilities, we make
Right.
sure na tinitipid natin siya. Let's say, we don't leave the lights on kung walang tao.
Conserve.
Oo,
Ayan.
so yung water, 'di ba? Parang ganyan.
Ayan.
From there, and also sa food, kung ano
Mm.
yung kaya mo i-maximize, yung
Yeah.
sakto lang.
Do you
From
guys eat
there,
out?
malaking help yun eh.
Yung parang yung what do you call it, yung leisure, may ganun din. So part of that, so
Oo,
meron tayong expenses, meron tayong as you mentioned, investment, tapos meron din time for leisure,
correct.
pero
So,
nilalagyan ng cap, parang ganun.
correct, oo. Yan. So, limit lang. Let's say once a week or once in 2 weeks, we order. Parang ganyan. Hindi
Ah,
naman palagi.
ah, ah. Eh lalo na nung pre-COVID, I'm sure.
Pre-COVID, once every week naman.
Every
Every
week
week
naman kasi
we go
syempre
out.
sarap naman punta ng mall, 'di ba? And ang maganda kay Sheila, I always find her or minsan when we talk to each other, ang aga sa mall, kaka-open lang ng mall, nandun na siya. And I think it's
Correct.
also nice because wala pa masyadong tao. And you
May
can get
parking
to
slot
choose may
ka.
parking slot. Ayan, hindi waste yung time.
Correct.
Tapos, tapos aside from that, I'm sure you also started savings, di ba? You started savings because you have a baby. Ayan, ang cute nga ni Connor. How old is Connor now?
5 years old.
5, ayan.
Actually,
So,
Coach Aiet, nung time
mm,
na I'm getting married na,
oo.
nagkaroon ako ng feeling na I need the protection. Kasi
Ikaw, oo.
nung time na nag-start ako,
Oo.
22 years old, di ba?
Oo.
Single.
Oo.
Nakafocus ako sa money growth.
Okay.
Hindi
Kasi
ko
ka
rin na
single
masyado,
eh.
hindi ko
Oo
masyado
eh.
iniisip yung protection. Parang
Oo.
add-on na lang siya. Here's my son.
Hi
Here's
Connor.
Connor. Say hello.
Hello.
Ayan.
Ayan.
So yun nga, Coach Ayet, alam mo ba,
Before wedding pala.
before getting married, months
Oo.
before, siguro a month or two, nagkaroon ako ng feeling na, teka lang, kakasal na ako.
Oo.
Parang kailangan ko ng life insurance.
So may funds din ng wedding, di ba?
Meron
Mas
din.
mga single
On top of
women
that pa
dyan.
yan.
Oo. How long did you come
After.
up for it? Yung funds na yun?
Okay, so, kasi sa Chinese tradition,
Mm-mm.
ang nag-shoulder ng wedding expenses, yung guy.
Okay.
Oo.
Okay.
Tapos sa side ko naman, kung ano na lang yung gusto kong dagdag.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Yes.
Parang ganun din naman. Pero sa iba yatang culture, yung girl, ano?
Talaga?
Oo, sa ibang culture, sa ibang bansa.
I see.
Oo. Ayan.
Okay.
Tapos, so...
Medyo, kasi yung wedding date namin, 10-10-10. So, medyo, di ba, parang gusto siya, in demand
gusto
siya.
kayo, oo. At saka, parang nagkaroon kayo bigla ng timeline. Dapat yung
Oo.
funds yung before that, di ba?
So, actually, maaga siya nag-propose. Mga
Okay.
2008 pa lang, August 2008.
Okay, 2 years.
Nag-propose na siya. So, sobrang aga.
Oo.
To book all the mga receptions, the church, di ba? Yun. So, marami talagang time to prepare for the funds.
So, for 2 years, you prepared the fund for the
Wedding
itself.
day.
That's good. Ayan, ang daming tips single women out there.
Yes.
Ayan, at least 2 years. Pag
Yes.
longer than that, parang baka sana naman uwi yun. Diba? Okay din 2 years.
Pero,
ayan.
excuse. Pero ngayon, Coach Aiet, it's smart way to get married now kasi COVID nyo. You
Walang
don't need
reception.
to invite a lot of people.
Tama.
So take advantage mo na.
Oo, tama yung Zoom, no? Via Zoom, even the other what you call this?
Naka-FB Live.
Oo. FB Live at saka baptism, ganun na rin. Most of the celebrations, they do it that way. And then they just deliver na lang siguro. For those people who are coming to the Zoom meeting, di ba?
Correct.
Ang din eh. Alright. So as a family woman, just to get a recap, so you appropriate something for your expenses and leisure, but you make sure that you put a cap on it. Say, for example, this is the historical expenses that you usually spend. So you know pretty much kung nasa upper ba or approaching upper or lower control limit. Usually naman pa expenses, it's really more on you watch out for the upper control limit. Kapag nag-shoot ka doon, it's not nice. And then you also still have appropriation for investments and then savings. Emergency fund, nag-start ka na din nun at the time, okay.
Meron naman.
Alright. Okay.
So since I'm also working, no, yung sa husband, income ng husband ko, siya yung house expense.
Okay.
Meron siyang budget for that, may budget siya for saving, may budget siya for leisure.
Nice.
So ako naman, as yung income ko, more on since naka-allocate na, meron na allocation for the house expense, more on yung meron din akong operating expense for my business.
Right.
Savings for myself. And meron din leisure na ito na yung ginagamit namin for travels.
That's nice. Oh my gosh, travels. I like it. Hindi, tsaka maganda doon, when you travel also, you look at the, sa sarili, tsaka yung for the family also.
That's
diba?
True. Yes, yes.
Ayan. And dapat, ayun yung sa akin na negotiable yan. Dapat talaga meron. Kasi that's what I like doing. Ayan. I'm sure
you need
ikaw
to
din.
enjoy life.
Yes. Ang dami mo na napuntahan, diba? Ayan.
Yes.
Because of what you do.
Yes, with the life insurance industry, nung bata ako, never ko na-imagine na ma-experience ko siya. But because of
Oo.
this industry, naikot ko na yung
Opportunity.
buong mundo, no? Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And for those people who are interested, just let us know, and you can comment actually, or you can directly message us. Ayan. So our next question, any tips on how to effectively manage your portfolios? So you did mention that you have something for investment, you have something for protection. Do you also have something for your estate? Or anything na say jewelries, ganyan. And what channels do you usually, yung popular sa family nyo, what are those channels that you put your money into?
Okay. So first of all, you mentioned about emergency fund.
Yeah, oo.
Yun. So we set up that amount. So yung value niya around 3 to 6 months of our monthly income.
Mm-mm.
So set aside siya sa time deposit.
Okay, time
Yun.
deposit.
So dyan lang siya, especially now na COVID, di ba?
You need
Dinoble
cash.
namin siya.
Okay, double na
Dinoble.
yung 3 to 6 months to parang naging,
Oo.
yung amount, di ba? Or
The
yung
amount,
yung length.
yes. The amount
Yung
of
amount.
money, dinoble na namin. Just in case biglang may magkasakit, ma-hospitalize, we have
Oo.
funds
Something to pull
available.
out. Oo.
Oo.
Okay.
So on top of that, we allocate na life insurance. Yun yung first
Mm-mm.
namin kinukuha.
For
Especially ngayon
protection
din.
yan. For protection.
Protection.
Oo.
Maganda kasi yung products natin ngayon, meron ng investment side. So
Mm-mm.
we get life insurance coverage. Also, a purpose na rin for EDUC funding and also for retirement funding.
Yeah. Oo.
Yeah.
Para flexible siya. And these are
Mm.
called variable life insurances na
Yes, that's
VUL.
right. That's
Oo.
right.
Ayun. And then for, what about, do you play in stocks or yung parang UITF also?
Yes. So on
Mm-mm.
top of that, kung okay na yung set aside na namin yung pang EDUC fund, retirement funding, and life insurance protection, I also invest in mutual funds, UITF.
Okay. And the UITF is meant for, di ba, ito yung mga 3 to 5 years. You can pull it out, shorter than the insurance
Okay.
channel. Di ba?
Yes. Oo. So, nung una kasi, parang mayroon akong goal na amount. O basta, i-accumulate ko tong amount, invest. No?
Yeah.
Ang dream goal ko talaga, Coach Aiet, to be able to build up a house for my parents.
Okay.
Oo, kasi ever since bata ako, we are renting out.
Okay. Same
So
pala
parang
tayo.
dream ko sa kanila yan. So ngayon, we're starting it already.
Ay, that's good. Congrats. And I
Thank
hope that you
you.
sustain it, di ba?
Oo.
Guys, now that it's COVID, parang less naman yung expenses natin. So why not take advantage like how Sheila's doing it?
Correct.
Yung nasasave natin because we don't go to the malls that often. Or yung mga expenses na actually sumushoot naman sa mga
Mga
delivery.
travel din natin.
Pero yung mga savings, there's a lot actually if you will compute only if you will list it down, di ba? That is very important. And if you have parang a plan in place, kasi mahalaga yon. And,
Oo.
di ba? You cannot measure what you don't document. Sige, go ahead, Sheila.
Maganda yung for me, yung variable life insurance. Kasi let's
Oo.
say, example na 50,000 this
Oo.
year.
Oo.
So medyo may obligation ka na next year. So
Parang
paghahandaan mo siya.
nadidiscipline mo siya, yung sarili
Correct.
mo
Oo.
also.
Kasi if wala yun, possible
Oo.
na spend out na natin siya.
Oo. Tsaka hindi ka
Diba?
makakaipon ng target goal mo if you just put it in an alkansya.
Correct.
Nangyayari yan guys sa kids, di ba? Parang ako din before. And there is this one person who told me, why are you collecting coins? Bakit hindi bills, di ba?
Okay.
Kasi ito yun na lang yung tira. No, you have to set aside a certain amount so that you can reach your goal.
Correct.
Di ba? Ganon. So, aside from, so that's how you manage your portfolios. How regularly naman you review? Kasi usually, di ba, parang we sit down, dinner or over meals. Are you also open to your family now? Tsaka yung with your parents before na, di ba dati nag-audit ka sa inyong business, ganyan. Now that you have a family, how often do you do reviews with your better half? So for example, is it something that you review bago mag-end yung year? Or do you do it parang sa corporate na meron kayong fiscal review year, di ba? Parang middle of the year or early on the year. Paano yung
Okay.
ginagawa?
Okay, since husband ko is a banker, actually,
Oo.
I think he does it every month.
Monthly. Okay,
For
para
him,
pa, oo, pa
And
yung
then,
pa-business review, di ba? Oh,
oo.
yan. Oo.
Tapos lagi niya chine-check yun, and then he lets me know na, oh, ito na siya, ganyan. We want to
Ah,
ito goal ko, i-reach ko
okay.
yan,
Tapos
ganyan.
mina-match, nagka-calibrate na lang kayo if you're in tune with the objective. Parang ganun ba yun?
Bali, actually, sa side niya, medyo hindi naman na, wala naman siya inaasahan from me.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Parang, basta siya muna siya. Tapos kung ako may extra, o meron ako ganyan, o
So when you
dagdag.
pitch, that's when you
Oo,
pitch.
ganun lang. Oo.
Okay.
Para wala masyadong pressure.
Oo naman. Eh, tsaka, di ba parang maganda rin kasi na open communication sometimes if you are a couple or in partnership, technically, kunyari, boyfriend, girlfriends pa lang, and you are not, parang taboo, yung ganitong discussion, that's when
Mm,
that is when the, you know,
misunderstanding.
disagreements, misunderstandings come in. Kasi, nagkakaroon ng miscommunication, magkaiba pala tayo ng goal, or hindi pala tayo calibrated dito sa gusto natin ma-achieve. So, 'di ba? Maintindihan mo talaga na communication is key regardless kung ano man siya. Nagtuturo ka sa child, you're dealing with your husband, you're dealing with your finances, 'di ba? It's
Actually,
important.
at first parang, ako yung medyo goal-oriented.
Ah,
Nung una, parang kwento ko ng, dapat ganito tayo, ganyan,
oo,
ganyan.
oo, oo.
Siya medyo parang, no reaction. Pero parang na-influence ko na siya.
Oo, oo.
Ayan, so yun na. Kaya naging
Nice,
ganun na.
nice. Maganda din kasi may support system as we mentioned early on discussions
That's
sa,
true.
'di ba? May
Mm.
support system because itong ginagawa natin hindi lang naman, especially if you're in a family or if you're in an organization, mas maganda yung naiintindihan natin the goal of each other and a common goal that we want to achieve. And in business management, guys, it's important and hindi kasi siya no man is an island, 'di ba? Especially if you are an individual contributor. Say for example, you're an employed guy, you still need to be aligned to the goal of the business plan of your organization or your immediate supervisor and the overall boss. With regard to family businesses naman,
Mm.
it's important that we guys calibrate, 'di ba? Kasi we also need periodic reviews of our asan na ba tayo? Where we're at? Where did we start? What went wrong? What went right? Mga ganyan. And what Sheila is sharing with us today is that communication. Kasi yun yung parang nakikita ko from the very start of the discussion. They're open. There are no judgments. There are no pressures, especially on financials. And you'll be surprised that you will get the goal in time because you are aligned to each other's plan. Yun. So very
Yes.
important yung planning. How do
Correct.
you qualify a secured and happy lifestyle, Sheila?
Okay. So for me, no, you need to be prepared.
Mm.
Prepared of the things that can happen, like the risks of life, no.
Mm-mm.
So ngayon pa lang, we need to make sure na what if this happens, ready ba tayo? Yun. So yun yung pinakauna naming ginawa. So especially ngayon COVID, my husband always gets a term life, no? At nag-a-add
Mm-mm.
on siya ng coverage.
Okay.
Last year nagkuha siya ng 5M.
Mm-mm.
Next year kumuha na naman siya ng 3M. Yun. So
Oo.
sabi ko sa
Kasi
kanya, no need
nasa
na.
field din kasi siya.
Oo,
You're essential worker, 'di ba? I mean,
correct.
you are always faced with people and I think tama lang naman yun. It's realistic now that we are young. All the more
Mm-mm.
that we need to have coverage kasi that will help us later on in life when we are, cannot anymore. Yung hindi ka na masyadong capable because of physical disabilities kasi you're old na. I think what he's doing is just right. 'Di ba?
Oo,
Agree naman ako diyan.
tama naman. Kasi ako as a wife, parang meron ka ng coverage, okay na yan.
Mm.
Pero for him, di, kailangan ko to. So I really
Yeah.
felt his love for the family,
Yes,
for
yes,
that
tama.
action.
Oh, create legacy of love, 'di ba, Sheila? I think
Yes,
that's what
correct.
he's doing, and
Oo nga.
I hope our listeners are also made aware that aside from communication, it's really an expression of your love, especially now that you are living or even after you are gone, 'di ba? Kasi yung mga what ifs in life, hindi naman natin matatanggal yan eh. Tsaka, di
Correct,
ba,
correct.
nothing is certain in this lifetime. So, the only thing that is certain is that your love for each other, yun nga, yung business that you are managing, regardless if you are a or an individual contributor, say, or a self-employed woman, or if you are employed. So, I think pretty much in a nutshell, yung journey ni Sheila, the way that she expressed her love for her family back then, na services, guys, is already an expression of love, di ba? Na nag-audit siya because that's what she can do for the meantime. And then, after graduating college, she pursued her passion. Ibig sabihin, hindi na siya nag-intay because she knows the importance of managing her life by valuing time. And not only that, minanage na rin ang kanyang money na na-accumulate niya at the start of her work work life. So until now, Sheila, how long would you like to do what you're doing? Kasi 'di ba parang ever since that's what you do, hindi ka naman nagbabago ng feeling about it. How do you feel about what you do
Okay.
back then and
Actually,
now? Mm-mm.
oo, actually back then, as na-learn ko yung buong industry,
Mm-mm.
sinabi ko na this will be my lifetime career.
Oo.
Yes, and that's what I tell my
Ganda.
clients.
Mm-mm.
Right now naman, ang next step ko naman is to make my team grow.
Oo,
Yun. Yun.
oo.
So I can see na I can do this for as long as I live.
Mm. Di tsaka maganda yun, you replicate what you experience, di ba? You share your experience. In a form, you are replicating yourself and
That's right.
rippling love, di ba? You are rippling that legacy of love to other people because based from what you experienced, it worked, di ba? And
Correct,
it's
correct.
working right now. So guys, I'm so happy that we have Sheila Ong today and I hope that you download this kasi there's a lot of info that she gave us, value adding tips at saka yung experience. And I know this is something that you can relate to. It is fun speaking to you, Sheila, and I'm happy that you make time for this podcast episode. Anything that you would like to promote or anything that you would like our listeners to um, look forward for you? Feel free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now kasi I'm focusing on making my team grow. So
Mm-hmm.
if ever our listeners would like to experience becoming a financial advisor or a leader in our industry, feel free to message me and get to know more about it. Okay,
Right,
so as
right.
mentioned kanina, 'di ba, na
Mm-mm.
I experienced traveling around the world because of the industry.
Right.
It helped me pay off debts, no? And be able to improve the lifestyle of my family. And I'm sure it can happen also to you, no? Your dreams, no, your dreams will become into reality as you join our team.
That's great. Thank you, Sheila, so much. And I hope that that dream of yours maging ano siya, maging reality. And I hope our listeners will also support the Secured and Happy Lifestyle podcast by hitting that follow button in Spotify and Apple Podcast. Look forward to our next episodes and feel free to listen also to our previous episodes. Until next time, Kabiz Buds, I hope that you follow our podcast and listen to our previous episodes.